Wayne Warner writes in, sent an email. I don't get a lot of emails at scuffpod@gmail.com from people, but occasionally I do. He said the following: It's a lot of rhetorical questions here. Are not the top front three, Wright at left wing, Sargent at striker, and Pulisic at right wing, based on club production rather than Balogun and Weah? Would not Pulisic have better chemistry with Dest on the right than Jedi on the left? Is not Wright better on set pieces than Weah? So 3 questions here. I say we take them in reverse order.
He was written some Shakespeare bars. Like, what's going on, bro? Storm me off. Big shout out to you, Wayne, for the way you wrote these questions.
So I think yes, Haji is probably better than Weah at set pieces, but that's not the increase there by replacing Weah with Haji is not something that moves the needle much for me. I don't think that's the key issue, but I think he put the question last because he realizes it's not the key issue. So, would Pulisic have better chemistry with Dest than with Jedi?
I would say yes, he would probably, but then the chemistry between Weah and Dest would drop to 0 because Weah is not on the field. So we need to factor in that into the fun side math. We also want to calculate how much less fun the Jedi side would get if Pulisic left, and just what would happen with Jedi and Haji playing together.
That's right.
What would we see over there?
I don't know what we would see over there.
Hey, there isn't a lot going on that left side, but I will say, what I'm saying, Jedi and Pulley have linked up at least once. You know what I'm saying? That amazing goal against Panama and Orlando. You know what I'm saying? When I mentioned the fact that Jedi had our first goal and our last assist of qualifying. Well, no. Assisted on the first and last goals of qualifying. That last goal of qualifying was little cross on the pulley that he
did the pirouette.
Yeah. Did the pirouette with. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to answer these questions because of the way that they're written right now, and it's really throwing me for a loop. But I'm gonna say no on all 3. I think that's the correct way to answer these questions.
Yeah, I think Pulisic probably would have better chemistry with Dest than with Jedi, as Joaquin said. But would his chemistry with Dest be as good as Weah's chemistry with Dest? I would say no. I don't think Pulisic is the rhythm chemistry guy that Weah is. So you probably lose something, even if you don't assess it the way you did earlier. Just with Weah off the field, you lose that chemistry. I think you have less chemistry with the Pulisic Dest pairing. And then, the key question: who are the starting front 3 for us at the Nations League and then at Copa, which is probably going to be different. But what do you guys think? You thinking Pulisic, Sargent, Weah?
That is Vince? What I would default to. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? The fact that it's Black History Month at this very moment is gonna make me readjust my take. I'm putting Ballo. You know
what? I'm gonna switch mine too.
Yeah.
I also care about Black History Month.
Yeah.
So
yep,
Ballo is my starter.
And man, and
Ballo is my starter, but not because of Black History Month.
Which is crazy, Bills. But
I mean, all for it. But
the one thing I did think about as I was thinking about Ballo's like recent, run of form, I guess, in the season overall. The one thing that's holding me still is that performance against PSG. If you go, I mean, well, there's really no way to go back and watch it if you don't have a Wisecout or something because of being and their situation. But anyway, if you find a way to procure that match, you know what I'm saying, I would advise going back and watching it. Ballo gave their center backs just hell, pure hell, for like however long he was out there. It might have been 90 minutes. I don't know. He got a goal too, of course, but the goal came as a result of him just wearing them out over and over. Runs into the channels, runs in behind, holding the ball up and just spinning off of him and running about. Like, he was attacking the back line at all, in every way that he could, you know, running at them, running behind them, running into the wide areas, and promoted an extreme fit of frustration from Milan Skriniar. It's a hard last name for me to get out. But ran that man ragged, man. Ran that man ragged. I think Ballo won a corner sometime in the second half, and bro just threw his arms up, put him down. Like, damn, bro. Like, how many times are you gonna run me into these damn channels? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the most running he had to do in a game all year. I would imagine. But yeah. So I think it's still there. Last year wasn't a fluke. I mean, it might be his career high in goals. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's still him. You know, he's still Ballo.
I agree. And
we don't have a limit.
As the competition gets more difficult, the windows that you have to get shots off or make combinations in that final 25 yards is they get smaller. They get smaller and smaller and smaller the higher the level. And for me, it's a simple matter. Who do I trust more to get a shot off in a tight window in a tough game? That's going to be Ballo for me. I'm so happy about Sargent's success, and I want to see him on the team. I saw Matt Doyle, you know, polarizing figure in the middle of our ecosystem. Well, kind of not really in the middle of it anymore, is he? But regardless, he suggested putting Pepi on the Olympics roster because then you don't have to burn an overage roster spot in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then if you're only going to bring 2 strikers to the Copa, bring Balogun and Sargent. I do kind of like that idea.
I would think Pepi not getting to go to the World Cup would then maybe not be thrilled about not getting to go to Copa.
Yeah.
I would not want that if I were Pepi.
Yeah. It seems to me to be a delicate man management issue as far as allocating your resources, specifically in this summer, because we have Copa in America, and we're participating in it. And the fact that the Olympics hit in the same year, it's going to be interesting to see. Like, I agree with Matt Doyle's. I agree with that in theory. How it plays out in practice, dealing with humans, as Waki just brought up, like it's a little dicey. But I mean, I guess it depends on the player too, because I feel like some people would love to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, and maybe, I guess, I don't know. Is Pepi one of those people who would love to go to the Olympics?
Who is this person that would rather go to the Olympics than Copa? Maybe I'm not as
well. It's
some people love the Olympics.
I would rather go to the Copa, but
I think everyone would. It's just like how big of a slight is being asked to go to the Olympics,
yeah.
And also how like I don't know how do they view the Olympics as a consolation prize, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's like I feel like I'm above this level, blah 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 blah, then okay. But if it's like, hey, I get the chance to be an Olympian, you know what I'm saying?